Rockler sent me out some ring kits and we're going to be trying them today. I've never done a ring kit before. I've got a couple different styles here. And I'm going to be using our snake shed. Trying to think of a snake pun. I can't think of a snake pun. There's two different styles. One is this solid ring, and it has these grooves in here so you can get good adhesion. This little sliver of metal will be visible in your turning, which gives it a really nice, elegant look. And the inside is a nice, polished finish. These are both stainless steel. And the other one, the other style is a two-piece, which allows you to cut the material and fit it very precisely in this groove before the two halves are assembled. And then again, you get that nice stainless steel polished inside. So to begin with, we're going to start with the solid ring. I'm trying to figure out how much material I'm going to need. So we need our blank to be a little thicker than 1/4 inch. If you watched my last video, you'll know that this is snake shed. When I first pulled it out of the box, it got me rather unsettled.
Okay, oh wowzers.
What is happening?
Oh gosh!
What is happening?
How big was that?
I don't know. I don't know. Since it has been flattened, cut, it sort of just feels like delicate paper now. I don't know if I was presented with it in the snake shed form again, if it would set me off quite the same way. I definitely don't feel the same as I did. In that video, so many of you commented that you wanted to see Snakeskin Micarta. You want it? Let's do it. Let's cut these up into more manageable sizes. And so the pattern is going to get pressed flat on top of each other. It's not going to be like the last project we did where you'll see the individual piece. We're actually going to be looking at this from the edge. Remember, the hole is going to be drilled through the top of this stack, and so it's the edge that will be visible in the ring. I always say, I think this is the weirdest thing I've ever done, and then it's not, but cutting up somebody's snake's shed skin mailed to me in a box so that I can turn it into a micarta or a ring is the weirdest thing I've ever done. This is it. I've peaked. Perfect. That's everything we need besides the resin, the mold, and the luck. That's everything we need besides those things. So this is a silicone mold that I purchased for, I don't know why. I don't even remember where I got this, but I found it in my shop. So if I stole it from your shop, ha, suckers. And this one fits inside it, so I can use it to squash things down. Let's give that a hit of mold release. So this is moss. It is a deep pour resin. It worked really well the last time we used it for the honey dipper. Designed with an extended work time that allows thicker pours. Perfect, that's us. The sun is shining, the neighbor's dogs are barking. We are ready to pour some resin. And this resin is 3-to-1. We're gonna pour part A up to the first 2, and then we're gonna pour part B up to the second 2. A nice warm California day, so this resin should mix beautifully. So this resin has an extended open time, which is good, and we want that, especially with micarta because it takes a while. We can extend that even more by transferring it from a smaller container to a larger container. The larger container it's in, the less quickly it will kick off, right? Does that make sense? If you put resin all the way to the top in a Dixie cup, it's going to overheat super quick. And if you pour it out on a flat surface like a tabletop, it's going to take, hours to cure. How are we going to do this? I think we're just going to peel one of these out, soak it on both sides. Micarta is the lasagna of the maker world. There we go. we'll let that set for a while and see what happens. So while the resin's curing on our micarta, I'm going to work on my other ring. And I'm sure that while you heard me talking about how you can make a precision blank for it, you were probably thinking to yourself, I wonder what amazing precision blank he's going to make. And those people are probably new to the channel. Here's our two halves of the blank, and normally you'd put the piece of material in there that you wanted, and then you could close this up and get a really nice fit on it. You just kind of push these two halves together, voila, and you've got a thin channel in there. You have to get the ring mandrel that fits the size rings you want to make. This ring is a size 10, so I got the ring mandrel that goes from 9 to 14. Tighten this up. Doesn't need a ton. And look at that, precision turning. Is cooled down again, and as you can see, it was easy enough to remove from the sides. This is Rockler's high-speed turning tool set. Spin it here by hand while I hold my parting tool. So as you can see, what we're looking for is just a channel here so we can put some finish down in there. And we're just going to mix up a very small amount of resin here. And turn the lathe on to its slowest setting. I'm just going to briefly touch the two metal sides here with a rag, just to make sure we don't have any resin on the sides. And I'll just leave that slowly turning while the resin sets. Today we're going to be turning with the Rockler ergonomic high-speed steel turning set. One of the great things about high-speed steel is that you can adjust the grind tool profile to whatever is most comfortable for you. I prefer a fingernail grind. Tell you what, it doesn't look very promising at the moment. that hole is just a little on the small side. It was as close as I could get, which was a 3/4 inch bit. And I'm just going to need to widen it just tiniest little bit. A really snug fit. So I'm going to reduce the outside diameter. We can take this off the faceplate, glue the stainless steel insert, and then mount it on the ring mandrel. It's all mounted properly on the ring mandrel. Alright, we're really close now, and I can tell by the racing of my heart that it is time to switch over to sandpaper. Sandpaper is normally not what we use for shaping, it's for smoothing. On these really delicate materials, just a safer choice. Using wet sandpaper keeps the blank cool while we're being pretty aggressive. And you can see there, it's pretty close to what we're looking for. And another advantage of using a ring kit is I don't have to sand the inside of this. And then we'll run through the rest of the grits. 180, 240, 320, 400, 600, and 800. For polishing, I use micro mesh polishing pads. It is its own grit system. They start at 1500 and go through to 12,000. I hope it looks better when it's all done, because there was one point there when I was pretty sure it was the ugliest thing I've ever made. You wanted to see Snakeskin Micarta? And here it is, some variance in the material, and I think a lot of that has to do with the difference between the side of the snake and the belly of the snake, and how big those cells or scales are. It almost reminds me of a quartz quality. I was also able to get a delicate ring because it was glued to a stainless steel ring kit. I think it came out really cool. The micarta was obviously a lot of effort. We had to flatten it, cut it to size, soak it in resin, stack it in the mold, wait 3 days, drill it, turn it, sand it, polish it. Whereas with the crayon, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes worth of effort. And I only used a small amount of these 4 crayons to make a very striking ring. I also checked them under a black light, and they both fluoresce under black light. The carnation pink crayon is highly fluorescent. The snake shed is also fluorescent, and they both look wildly different. I'm not sure which of these two is my favorite. Let me know down in the comments below if you liked either the Snakeskin Micarta or the crayon ring, or if you didn't like either, if you liked them both. I'd like to thank Rockler for sponsoring this video. If you would like to make some rings with their ring kits, in the description I will put a link to all of the materials that I used for making this. The ring kits, the resin, the ring mandrel, the turning tools, and of course my favorite silicone mat are all available from Rockler's website for making this product. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it, appreciate that, that helps me out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.